Okay, I'm here with Heath. Heath likes to lunge at cars that drive by and tries to bite their tires. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use a little counter conditioning desensitizing. So he's looking at it, nice. Or actually, yes. Yes. So to do this, and we'll see if we get another car coming. So if you see another car coming behind me, just wave to my camera person with your hand so I can turn around and we'll practice again. I'm going to talk about the technique. So what we want to do, I'm using a clicker here. Now, if you're going to do this, you need to have pre-loaded the clicker, which means I went like this, and they gave him a treat. So when he hears the click, he knows the treat's coming. The click is going to indicate that he did something I wanted. In this case, looking at the other car, or at the car, without lunging. Now, when I do this sort of exercise, I want to find a situation where I can make whatever the dog is reacted to, whether it's a dog, people, bicycles, skateboards, cars, lower the intensity. The way I lower the intensity is by turning down the volume, decreasing the speed, or increasing the distance. So as you see, where we're at now is not the ideal place, but it's the closest place for the Guardian. And I like to have a green space, something with a lot of good sniffs for the dog. And we want to have plenty of space between the dog and the car. Now, if the car comes in and he starts barking and lunging at it, we are too close. The whole point of this exercise is we want him to practice being around a car that passes by without him reacting. Not reacting is what we're clicking. So what you do is, and I was just talking about this off camera, I used to live in Santa Barbara. So to stop traffic, what they do is the street's going like this, they have a depression, and Santa Monica does it as well. And so if you go through it, pieces of your car come off. Well, so people have to slow down for those. So if you see any of those around here and there's a green space next to it, that's the best place to practice. Or you practice in a neighborhood where it's a slower neighborhood. People are driving slower. Or one of my favorite ways to do this is I enlist a friend who is the driver. So I can be talking to them with my earbuds and say, speed it up a little closer, a little further away. I can't do that with a random car. So the idea is we want him to look at the car. When he looks at the car without reacting, I click, and if we're arranging it like this, so the car's over there, when you watch this video again, he was looking here. When he heard the click, he turned away from the car. This is a version of what we call the engage, disengage game. So now if I look at a car, I hear the click, which tells me as a dog that I did something that my human wants. Now I turn away from the boogeyman because we've made it enough distance where I don't feel threatened by that car. I'm close enough where I'm paying attention, but not so close that I'm freaking out. And so it's the Goldilocks distance. Once you find that, then when he looks at the car, you make the click, he turns away from the car, you give him a reward. Now, we talked earlier about aversive training tools like a prong collar. The reason those are bad is if I'm wearing the prong collar and I think you're giving me a treat and I pull towards you and it bites my neck, I think you're the one that bit my neck. So that's a negative version of it, or positive punishment technically. But this is the opposite. Now I look at a car and something good happens. Now, when a lot of dogs want to attack dogs or cars' tires or bicycles or skateboards, well, first of all, skateboards are usually kind of jerks, so that they kind of probably deserve it. No, just kidding. But basically, they're moving by quickly. A lot of times that catches dog by surprise. Dogs are kind of a little bit of tattletales and hall monitors. They want to stop things. They want to control it and make it. And for a dog, I can bark and that usually makes things stop. Well, dogs don't realize that they're going to lose that battle with, I've done this with dogs that go after gators on four-wheelers and all sorts of different stuff. Yep, same sort of thing. Okay.
Oh,
Nope. Thought somebody was coming, but no. Of course, there's supposed to be a lot of people here, but of course there's not right now. So the idea is we find an area where traffic's going to be coming by, but not so fast, or we control the person, and we've got enough distance between the dog and whatever it is that they're reacting to, in this case, cars or bicycles or skateboards. And we've got a green area. Now, sometimes I also do a little thing like, find it. So if you're on walks and every once in a while you pull out a treat, find it, and I click or say yes when he gets it, he's used to doing that. So if you see a car coming, let's say that the street is right here and you don't have enough room to move away, you get caught off guard. Before the car comes, you see it's coming, you say, toss the treat, find it, find it, find it, find it. You can move him away from the boogaboo, and he's more interested in finding the treat because you practice this when there aren't cars around. It also helps promote sniffing the ground, which is a displacement behavior and also calming and relaxing for dogs. So here you go. So I'm clicking for the look and give him a treat. Now I have pretty high value treats right now. I'm using chicken liver. Might be too high of a value. If it's so high a value he doesn't care about that, then it's not really genuinely helping him. So I might use Charlie Bears or a treat that he likes, but that is not so high value that he's going to ignore everything but that. So let's say that it's from where that gentleman is to us. You're going to find there's different amounts of distance. Here we have another car coming by, so let's do the same thing. So he might be cool with the car driving by there, but the car drives by here, it's too proximate, too close. So what we want to do, there we go. That's a good sit. I'm just going to reward with a pet because that's not what I'm looking for. When I'm doing this, I'm only going to give the treats for engaging the car. So what you might find is he's fine as long as the car is at least 25 feet away. So so the way I do that is I test the distance is I do a dry run like this, or I ask the dog to sit as cars are passing by. If a dog won't sit and it knows how to sit, it's an indicator it does not feel comfortable. Don't ask it to sit multiple times. It's a common mistake people make. It makes the dog feel trapped, which will make them more reactive. Always let your dog move away. When it does move away, you should actually reward it, because that's one thing. I want you to move away from the car instead of trying to bite the tire. So again, any behavior that we like, we're going to reward and reinforce. After a while, at 25 feet, then maybe this next practice session, we try 24 feet, 23 feet, 22 feet. Now you can do this two ways. You can either just keep them collapsing a distance. What I prefer to do, it depends on the dog and situation. I might have one of my friends driving the car, so at 25 feet, I have him driving by at 5 miles an hour. There we go. So are these cars that he normally would be barking at and lunging at? So not doing any of that. Now, I might be using too high of value of a treat. So the idea is you find that distance. So getting back to what I do, I might have my friend driving back and forth at like 5 miles an hour. After about 3 or 4 passes, if the dog feels pretty comfortable, then I might have them go to 7 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, 15 miles, gradually ramp up until they're going like 80 miles an hour here, and he's like, whatever. Then I have them go to 20 feet, or 23, or whatever the interval is, and then I might have them go back to 5 miles an hour, then 10 miles an hour, then 15. So we're making it very gradual and progressive. So we have a car coming. I was going to ask those guys to stay on the other side, but let's see. So we're just creating a positive association. Right now, lunging and running at the cars makes them go away. I don't want them to go away. I want to look at them so I get a treat. And what you will eventually find with the disengage part, that's why we call it the engage-disengage game, although this is more of a counter conditioning. You're not going to bark at that one. What will happen eventually, he'll look at the car and then look away automatically. Because you've basically been helping him learn this. When he does that, first time he does it, yes, or click and give him like 5 treats in a row. Only click once, but give him 5 treats. We call that a jackpot. So when they do something substantial or overcome a hard or difficult thing, we want to give them a bigger reward. You want to go, what did I just do? I just got 5 treats. I got to remember to do that again. Looking away from the car now, he's disengaging. Also, the find its that I talked about earlier helps him be distracted. So if there's a car coming by not ready, here comes another car. So we'll practice again. And so this is actually not the worst place in the world to do it, because people are driving fairly slow here. The problem is they're a little bit further away than I like. Yeah. So just watch his eyes. And I mean, eventually, you'd have to recruit people to get, because I wouldn't want him to be on the asphalt. First of all, we're kind of almost in the desert. This is going to be really hot during most of the year. And also, there's not a lot of sniffs in tar. There's a lot of sniffs there. So the idea is you might find another place where people are driving by and there's the anti-speed bump, or areas where people drive by slower to run a curve, and then there's a big grass field, and then he just gets nice and relaxed, and gradually those cars get closer and closer and faster. Big whoop, man. They come by, I get a treat, so it's a positive instead of a negative. So when you're doing this, make sure that you're going at your dog's pace. If he lunges or reacts, that means I got greedy and asked for too much criteria. Now, it also will matter. One car comes by at 5 miles an hour, next car comes by at 25 miles an hour. At the same distance, he might be reacting to the 25 mile an hour. So that's why it's better. We have them tethered here, which you really don't like doing at all. Doing it because there's only 2 of us, we got to do the shot. But I would like you to have your dog on a leash, so if somebody's coming by too fast, you can walk your dog away and increase that distance for them. The premise for this is I'm going to handle the situation so you don't have to. I'm going to put you in a situation where you don't feel threatened or anything. We're going to get rained on here in a sec, so I'm going to wrap this up. But the idea is I'm managing it so he's practicing being around cars without reacting. At this distance, then this distance, Gradually, they're running by him, and he's like, I'm not even paying attention because I'm looking to get a treat. The car passing by is an indicator I got a treat, because my mom took the time to arrange these situations that were curated so they got progressively more and more challenging until we're the life situation, and you're walking down a busy street and cars are whizzing by and he's just paying him no mind. All right, can you take about 5 steps closer? This is my buddy Heath. And these are some tips that you can use if you have a dog that gets reactive and likes to bite the tires of cars, bicycles, or skateboards.